Brenda.
Hi, Jason. How are you today?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for taking a few moments to share with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to this. It's exciting to look at different things, different ways, and to think out of the box on how to connect businesses to businesses and people to people.
Awesome. So you shared with me a really exciting story and a really special custom heirloom piece that got me overly excited. Can you share some of that with my friends?
I'll be glad to share with you. About a year or so ago, I put up a picture on Facebook about my Hawaiian hand-engraved heirloom bracelets that I wear. And I've got so many Facebook requests and information on how are they made, what are their prices. And a lady contacted me. She lives on the other side of the island and on Facebook. She made 3 trips into my office to discuss making a bracelet. And it actually was the largest bracelet I've ever made, like 38 millimeters wide, which is twice as wide as this, because this is like 15.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And she loved the design on my bracelet that I did. And I custom make the designs, whether you like roses, blue bonnets, lehua, orchids, all of those things are sea creatures. And so she fell in love with my bracelet design. And I said, okay, no one else gets to wear my design, because this was my personal one, but I know you love it. And so I will make you an extended large version. Wow. And she had some gold of her own. And so we used her 22, 24 karat gold, and we mixed it with enough new gold to have a good casting. Because if you use only old gold, it has porosity maybe in it, it has different alloys in it, and it might end up turning out like a sponge cake with air holes in it when you use old gold. You have to have so much new because you want to make sure it's a solid bracelet and good quality ring or whatever you're making. So she also was asking me at the time, not just to make a 38 millimeter bracelet, but you know, I really would like a ring to go with it, but I don't know if I can afford it. And so I said, well, I'll see how much gold we have when we make it up. And I can't promise you, but you know, it would be probably extra if we don't have enough gold. So when the time came for her to come to the office and to pick up the bracelet, it was done, I actually was able to surprise her. And when she came in and I showed her the bracelet, she was speechless. Her husband said, she's never that way. There's always something wrong with something that she has made, but this is perfect. It fits her. It's perfect. It was exactly what she wanted. And then I told her, after a few minutes, I paused and I said, you know, I have something else for you. And she looked at me like, what do you mean? And I handed her a silk little pouch and unzipped it. And I pulled out the 10 millimeter ring that matched her bracelet. And she was in tears at that point. I was just like so happy that I was able to make a connection on Facebook, have someone email and text me, and then finally come in and meet them face to face with 3 visits to make sure I was the right jeweler to do her job and she could trust me, and then to make it happen. That's what making jewelry is all about, whether it's custom making a piece, it's an engagement ring, it's repairing a family heirloom that some other jeweler said, no, we can't fix that, just melt it. Or reconditioning that antique estate piece for them so it can go in the family for the next generations. And I love that part of doing jewelry work. That and I've been blessed to do it for 32 years with my own business, Carats Karats. Yes, 32 years. I love it.
Yes. So what you do exactly is custom jewelry, is that correct?
I do custom jewelry, but I can do special orders, engagement rings. I have inventory of my own for the business. Wedding rings, engagement rings. I have pearls and colored stones. And if I don't have it, I know where I can get it. So if you want it, I've got it, or I'll get it, is what I like to live by.
I love that.
And then, yeah, because it's so true. You can go into a store and they just want to sell you what's in the showcase.
Yes.
They don't want to be creative and think out of the box to make something that is completely for you and what you want. And so I tend to listen a little bit more than most, take the time that we need, and go from there. And I'd like to tell you another story.
Sure.
Can I do that, Jason? Okay.
Sure.
This gentleman wanted the perfect engagement ring, and he went to several jewelers here in Honolulu to see if they could envision what he wanted. He came to me finally. I met him through some of the Hawaiian educational programs and things like that at Iolani Palace here in Honolulu. And Elijah came and he says, I want to make an engagement ring that has the center oval diamond, 12 stones around it as a halo, and then 3 on each side. But I also want to have the 12 stones that were in Aaron's breastplate in the Old Testament.
Wow.
Okay. And the young lady wore like a 4.5 size. So she's petite. The other jewelers that he talked, no, we can't do that. No. So I custom made a ring with the 12 stones around it as a halo, which represented the 12 apostles. The 3 diamonds on the side shoulders were for the trilogy, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. And on the inside of the ring, which is not seen on the outside, it's only on the inside where you know, it's like, for another lack of term, it's like silk underwear. You know you have it, but nobody else does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we put on the inside of the ring, on one side, we had 6 stones, and on this side, we had 6 stones. Each one was different and custom cut to fit flush with the inside of the ring. So you didn't feel the difference of like little bumps or ridges when you wore it. And he was thrilled. And I kept him apprised of, okay, this is the schematic drawing because it was like an engineering feat with CAD CAM designing.
Yes.
And when he picked it up, he was in tears. Elijah was like, oh my gosh, you really got it. You understood what I wanted. And then to top it all off, Elijah invited me to his proposal to be there because he had other family members, and it was on Facebook and the petals and the pictures. I mean, they've been going together for like 10 years from when they were 14.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it was the ultimate family proposal.
To them.
Yeah, yes. It was wonderful. But to be included, to come and then
yes,
and to have made this was just, you know, I think about it and I want to tear up. I really do, because the jeweler doesn't always get to see the pictures of the engagement, but when you've been invited, and this was not the first invitation I'd received to a proposal, was just amazing, because it's a special moment in a couple's life, or it's a special moment for an anniversary. And to be included in that, it's very humbling. I mean, I'm not excited about it. I love talking about it. But to have been allowed into that special moment, it's just such a blessing. It really is, Jason.
Brenda, that is an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for letting me talk with you today. I really enjoyed this, and I love what you're doing. And I am so appreciated for someone thinking outside the box for us here in the 808 state and on the internet. I think it's so important. You know, I've had Carats and Karats fine jewelry for 32 years, opened in 1987. And I love everything that I do. And people can find me on the internet at caratsandkarats.com. You can find me at Carats and Karats on Etsy. I have a store there. My webpage, my email, which is very localized, is poilady@aol.com. And they can reach me at the office at 735-2301, 735-2301, or they can reach me by texting my cell phone at 808-285-2731.
Fantastic. So one thing I'd like to touch on, you walk into a jewelry store, first thing comes to my head is, you know, the expense, spending all this money and probably not getting the value, you know, being overpriced. And you mentioned to me you do appraisals, right?
Yes, I do appraisals. I'm the only certified Appraisals International Society evaluator in the Pacific Basin, in the whole Pacific. The closest ones to us are actually from California, New York, elsewhere. one in Colombia, New Zealand, Australia. And so we are trained to do valuations, whether it's after the purchase, when you go and you want to confirm, is this worth what that store told me? Does it have the representative value? Did they sell me the diamond color and clarity that I was asking for? Or you bought it on the internet, anywhere, so to speak, on the internet or eBay and other places, and you want to know if it's real. Is it actual gold? Is it actual diamond? Is it an enhanced gemstone that they lied about? Right. And so my appraisals will give you a variety of information, because there's different types of appraisals. Most people are aware of insurance appraisals, but there's also damage reports and appraisals can be done as to the damage, what the stone or the ring or the furniture, because I can do all types of personal property, not just jewelry.
Interesting.
And we've done insurance claims for damage. We've done donation appraisals. Say you want to donate something to charity, and you're required by IRS to provide a donation appraisal value for fair market value to the IRS, so that they know what you did, what the item is, and also who received it, which is important on your taxes. So those are things that I can do. And then you may have jewelry that you're not sure if it's authentic or not, and it's from grandma's jewelry box. So we can do a consultation to determine which items need documentation and appraisals and which items do not. And so that's a consultation. The price is by the hour. And we do everything on a personal one-to-one basis, so that no one else's appointment will conflict with yours. Whether it's an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, we schedule it to make sure that we've given you enough time to ask all the questions that you want for that appraisal assignment. The other thing about doing appraisals is, if you can't come to me, I can go to you. I've done appraisals on Kauai, I've done appraisals on Maui, the Big Island. Sometimes people will fly in from Molokai to meet with me, and they've scheduled doctor's appointments, so they'll schedule an appraisal appointment to come see me. Appraisal fees actually start when we do documentation at $175 per item. If you have 10 items or more, then we can discount the fees, because you're bringing so many. And maybe you only need 1 item done or 2 items done, that's fine too. Or maybe you're looking for educational information, not necessarily an appraisal, but it would be my library. I know I have no books behind me here, but I have an immense library, and I can pull that book off the shelf and let you sit there quietly and read to your heart's content, fix you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the office. And that way you're not pressured about anything, that decision you need to make, because you have to feel comfortable with me working with your family heirlooms, answering your questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, just inadequate answers, and being able to assist you without feeling pressured that, oh, you have to buy something, like if you go to a mall store or something like that, oh, you don't need to have that done. So it's really personal, and it's like coming into my home office and it being relaxing and not pressured. And that's what people need today, I think, is to feel comfortable with anything that they need to have done, whether it's jewelry repair, design, or finding out how to keep their family heirlooms. And I have done work for Iolani Palace, the Bishop Museum, Hawaii Mission Houses, and for civil and criminal court, and for family court. So I want people to feel comfortable when they sit down and ask their questions. And I think that's the most important thing, is that doing it with the spirit of aloha and pono, and answer those questions for them with appraisals or whatever the purposes they need and what they need made. And it's just a joy to be able to be part of that, and someone allow me the privilege of seeing their heirlooms.
And as you said, being part of the experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because I have appraised the crown jewels of Hawaii that are at Iolani Palace. And I have lectured Oh, the crowns are fabulous. They are 15 to 22 karat gold. They have diamonds and pearls and natural rubies and emeralds and kukui nuts on them. And I was able to lecture.
Amazing.
I lectured in London and Edinburgh, and I've lectured here locally about the crown jewels and elsewhere for other appraisal organizations too. And I love it. People don't realize that this was a kingdom in Hawaii, and they need to know that. You know, I just love it.
Yes,
you
yes.
know.
Well, thank you so much, Brenda, for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to talk with you today, Jason. I truly appreciate it. I think you're doing a great thing to connect us to other people here in the 808 Hawaii. And thank you so much for contacting me. I look forward to working with you more in the future.
Definitely. Talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. Aloha.
Mahalo.